Honest Advent, Chapter 12, Seen, Isaiah 53:2. He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. Incarnation is the process of becoming seen. To be seen is to allow yourself to be known. To be known is to risk being loved or not. I remember my friend Taylor saying to me one time, "I don't want God to love me. I just want God to tell me what to do. Because if I let God love me, He will love me the way I am. And if I let God love me the way I am, I will have to see the way I am. And I don't want to see the way I am. So I'd rather God just tell me what to do." There is a spirituality that operates out of the belief that one flourishes by earning love. That if I do this, but mostly focus on don't doing that, then I'll be loved. Then I'm in the Heavenly Club, and my club membership is safe and secure. Well, until I do that thing I'm not supposed to do. Then I feel guilty, and I need to admit my wrongdoings before the club president and ask his forgiveness, and then I'm back in the club. But then the next day, I do that thing I'm not supposed to do, and I have to go back to the club president and start all over again. Also, unfortunately, this happens pretty much every day, so my membership is constantly in question. It's a very anxious spirituality to have. Then there's another spirituality based on the notion that it's actually not through earning, but through receiving that one flourishes. An embodiment that has dug down deep and found the wellspring of love that never ends and rooted itself in that eternal source. This spirituality is lived out based on the understanding that love is something you can never be taken away from. That love is the animating source of incarnation. In the image provided, we see a tree emerging from the hands of the giver of life. The tree symbolizes the incarnation of Christ, Jesus, from the source of life into this reality we all find ourselves in. But the tree also symbolizes the journey of growth that every living thing moves through, including us. The symbol of the tree also has a sneaky meaning in that glory of a tree's incarnation is that it is a tree. It doesn't try to be a hamster or seaweed or a humpback whale. Its glory is seen by all by being its fantastic, barky, and limby self, which is significant. Because one of the qualities that makes human beings so unique out of all other living species is our capacity to reject being ourselves, to hide our identity, to put a mask on and pretend to be something we're not. Just visit any political lobbyist convention and you'll see what I'm talking about. In fact, one of the main story arcs of a human life is the revelatory moment when reality strong-arms you into admitting, okay, this is who I really am, and then you embrace the truth with kindness and sympathy. Just visit any AA meeting and you'll see what I'm talking about. Why is being seen so hard? It's hard because when you decide to live into your true self, your strengths and weaknesses, your light and shadow, your superpowers and your kryptonites, you are revealing yourself to the world, and you can now be touched, loved, rejected, embraced, ignored, and all of the other complicated interactions that come with human relationships. This is the exciting and terrifying proposal in an everyday life, so that some of us are questioning whether revealing yourself is worth it. One of the invitations of Advent is the contemplation of God being seen, which is to say, incarnation. What does it mean for the unseen, holy mystery to be seen? And because seen, to also be touched, loved, held, known. You might think God in flesh would be the most all-encompassing, attractive being there ever was with no risk of rejection, but the answer to that assumption is a big biblical nope. There was even a prophetic precursor to let everyone know it wasn't going to go down that way, that the Son of God would have no special magnetic look or charm to draw us to him. What we see in the Chronicles about Jesus' life is that being seen was complicated for him too. His incarnation was not void of hardship and heartbreak. He was misunderstood by many in his community. His family was skeptical of his new vocation. His cultural, spiritual leadership thought he was the spawn of Satan. He even had a friend who sold him out because he stopped believing the hype. If Jesus' incarnation had been fueled by the belief that love is something that must be earned, these failures at earning love through approval would have been devastating to the spiritual life he was living. But what we see in Jesus is a spirituality that is grounded in the never-ending spring of love that was the source of everything he did. It was the source that enabled him to forgive the haters. It was the source that emboldened him to meet others in their pain. It was the source that ignited him to speak hope in a culture desperate for a new way. It was the source that empowered him to lay down his own life for those he loved, which is humanity. May it be known that the giver of existence took the same risk we all have to take daily, to be seen and known as the person we really are. The risk of incarnation is the risk of love, and love risks heartbreak, rejection, and being sold out by your friends, because love is also the animating source that brings about all the wonderful things in an incarnation, like companionship, joy, healing, wholeness, and being seen and known in the world. A woman at a well once inquired about this wellspring, and Jesus replied, "I offer water that will become a wellspring within you that gives life throughout eternity. You will never be thirsty again." Jesus offered to her what he had received himself. He offers that same wellspring to us today. May you never thirst again at the wellspring waiting inside you.